Let's get to starting five topic number 5. We started off by telling you about Jason Pierre-Paul, who went to USF, the University of South Florida. Well, we've got some more USF news here in our starting 5. Oregon is reportedly set to name Willie Taggart its next head coach to replace Mark Helfrich, who was fired after 3 seasons. Taggart led the Bulls to a 10-2 season this season thus far, and they will play South Carolina in the Birmingham Bowl on December 29th. So this is where they go. Matt Rule. By the way, the American Athletic Conference here. Okay, so in the last couple of weeks, Houston's Tom Herman goes to Texas. Temple's Matt Rule yesterday goes to Baylor, and now South Florida's Willie Taggart goes to Oregon. So some great coaches there in the American. That was recognized by a lot of the Power 5 conference schools out there who are needing a head coach. Unfortunately, now that's been drained out of that American conference. But Rule was thought to be maybe the front runner for the Oregon job. So when he went to Baylor, which is a little puzzling. If you had the choice of going to Oregon or Baylor, given the situation at Baylor, that makes me think, okay, I guess from Rule's standpoint, he thought, I'm in a recruiting hotbed. We can turn this thing around quickly. Oregon, while the situation might be better as far as the programs are concerned and not a lot of scandals surrounding that particular program, and there's Nike money, all we've heard here is how Oregon really struggles to recruit because there just isn't a talent base right there in state.
Well, and you've mentioned before, especially with college coaches who then advance to the pro level, about how the weight of recruiting kind of lifts off of their shoulders and it allows them to just do their job of coaching the team. And Taggart's going to have an uphill battle. I mean, he's been great at recruiting at USF, but it's going to be a different story up there in Oregon.
Because he was in a Florida hotbed,
right?
All right? And even some of the second and third tier kids in Florida, like in Texas or in California, are better than a lot of states' top tier kids.
Yeah.
Well, Oregon, I don't know if a lot of kids are going from Florida to Oregon, number one, and now he has to try to establish a recruiting base down in California because that's where they get a lot of their kids from. And right now, and we know always that the kids tend to their first teams on their list are usually like USC, UCLA, Stanford, Cal. They want to stay local, right?
Right.
So
I will say one thing that helps with him recruiting, though, is his offensive style. He likes to score points. And kids love playing for him because an exciting offense is what college football is about, especially for these kids, that he would be recruiting. I mean, their offense was awful, the Bulls. Speaking of the Bulls' offense, was awful before he got there, and he has completely put them in an elite category because of the way he coaches. I mean, that's a shiny toy for people who, players that want to go to Oregon.
And we've seen before, that's kind of what Oregon wanted to see too, is to see that offense get cranking. And so back to the Chip Kelly days in terms of their production, not necessarily some of the things that Chip did, but Willie Taggart, I think, will have every opportunity to be successful there once he gets especially. Now, that's the thing. How much time will they give him? They only gave Helfrich 3 years. His record was good. He had a bad season, but overall, he won 32 games over his 3 seasons. Usually you get extensions and bonuses.
The coaching carousel is so bizarre.
So good luck to Willie Taggart there, but I know a lot of people around college football are really happy for him to get this opportunity.
Absolutely.